Hi, boys and girls. We are going to do the lesson 6 problem set together. And we are using the distributive property to multiply numbers. And using the distributive property is really practicing breaking math facts apart into different problems to make simpler problems to solve. Now, the goal is, of course, for you to know your basic facts like 6 times 6 or 7 times 6, but it's also important for us to know the distributive property and breaking these numbers apart to help us do some mental math when we get into multiplying larger numbers. So let's go ahead and do letters number 1A, B, and C together to get started. And I know that 6 times 6 is 36. Now, if you don't know that off the top of your head, you can go back to your chart and use your multiplication table. You could count by sixes, skip count by sixes, or you can do the distributive property and follow what they have broken up here for you. So we're doing the distributive property by breaking it up into a 5 fact. So we're going to do 5 times 6 equals 30 because we can count 5 sixes and that's 30. And then we have 1 6 left and 1 times 6 is 6. So down here, when we show our addition, 30 plus 6, we end up with 36. Letter B is 7 times 6. Let's do the distributive property. Let's break it apart first. We'll do our 5 fact, which is 5 times 6 equals 30. And we can think of 6 as our unit, our label. We take 5 out of the 7 and we end up with 2 6s left. 2 times 6 is 12. So down here we did 5 times 6 is 30. 2 times 6 is 12. And now it's really simple to add 30 plus 12 more is 42. And 7 times 6 is 42. Let's take a look at 8 times 6. We have 8 sixes. If we pull 5 of them out, 5 times 6 is 30. We have 3 sixes left, which is 18. Down here, we're going to fill in 5 times 6. I'm sorry. 5 plus 3. That's how we broke apart our 8. So it's really 8 times 6. So we did 5 times 6, 3 times 6, 30, and 18 is 48. Let's do letter D. We're trying to find 9 times 6. We have 9 sixes here. We're going to pull 5 out. We already know we're getting really good at 5 times 6, right? 5 times 6 is 30. We should know that. If we pull 5 from 9, we're left with 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Down here at the bottom, to get our 9 that we needed, we did 5 plus 4. And here's where the distributive property is. We're doing 5 times 6 and 4 times 6. We're distributing that 6 to both of those numbers. And we do 30 plus 24, and we get 54. So 9 times 6 is 54. Let's go on to number 2. Number 2 is doing the same thing. It's just breaking it down in a little bit different way. So we're going to break apart 54 to solve 54 divided by 6. These are a little trickier for Mrs. Goshert. These problems are a little trickier for me. I have to think a little bit harder on these. So 54 divided by 6 can break down to 30 divided by 6 and 24 divided by 6, because this is our 5 fact over here. 5 times 6 equals 30. Okay, so we're going to fill in this 24. They already told us that. 30 divided by 6 is 5. 24 divided by 6 is 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. So if we do 49 divided by 7, if we take our 5 fact out, 49 minus the 35, we are left with 14 divided by 7, because you take 35 from 49. That's tough, isn't it? So we did 35 divided by 7 plus 14 divided by 7. So it's 5 plus 14 divided by 7 is 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. Those are hard for me, boys and girls. I admit it. Let's take a look at number 4. Robert says that he can solve 6 times 8 by thinking of it as 5 times 8 plus 8. Is he right? Draw a picture to help explain your answer. So if we have 5 eighths, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 8 more, how many eighths do we have? This is 5 times 8. This would be 1 times 8. 40 plus 8. This is 6 eighths. He is correct. Robert is correct, because we can show it as a 5 fact. 5 times 8, and 8 is a fact of 1 times 8. So he is correct. Make sure you have all of these problems completed, boys and girls, and submit them, and you'll be moving on to some homework problems.